Hi everyone, welcome back. Yes, so this is things I learned in life, number 2. I guess I'll make this 5 minutes longer than the last one. Right. I'll just get right on it. Right. What I learned. Being understood is just as important as understanding other people. That's, I think, self-explanatory, right? Yeah, it should be equal, it should be balanced, it should be give and take. Yeah, you can't just give and give, right? You can't just deplete yourself all the time. Next. If you decide to love yourself first. That way you'll be able to act on what is best for you despite what you want to have happened. This goes back to what I've said in the previous video. About treating yourself better as well. So you'll know what you deserve. You'll know what better is, kind of thing. So if you love yourself, you'll know what you want from love. You'll know the definition, your own definition of love, you have to think about your explanation of love. You have to see if they're toxic or not, if they're rational or not. Love isn't always rational, but it's your own truth, and it's knowing what's right as well. It's a really deep topic to talk about, but dive into that. Try to love yourself so you'll know what love is for you, and check also. Try to observe other people, observe them, how they love, what love is for them, so you can balance out what works and what doesn't work. This one I learned a while ago. Normal doesn't mean healthy. This goes for a lot of things. People will tell you, oh, you look sexy and stuff. Sexy doesn't mean healthy. So normal doesn't always mean right. Looks or standards of beauty doesn't always mean healthy, kind of thing. So it's thinking outside the box of what is right, what is true. Oftentimes we kind of go with the crowd because it's safer, because there's more people in there. We don't go to the roads less traveled, because if we get wrong, we get shunned or cast out by society. But at the end of the day, really, what makes you happy? Is that kind of truth making you genuinely happy? So you need to think about these things as well. Normal doesn't mean healthy. Right, next. This one's heavy as well. We should have children for the right reasons. Yeah. I'm 29, and I don't think I'm ready for that yet. I don't have the right mindset or the stability to have a good stage to bear a child, to raise a child. You should work on your own self first. You should work on fixing your own self first, because these things that you didn't try to fix before, obviously, it will result to you, passing that on to your child, and you don't want your child to grow up unlearning your truth, which sometimes might not be right. I've been trying to learn the things that I've learned in my culture that were toxic, through my parents. Nobody's perfect, so most of my parents have kind of their own issues and insecurities and that, and I've tried to unlearn all of those through my experiences, doing a lot of introspection. And we should take care of our own thoughts first, our own self. We should, because having a child, when I was searching into nonviolent communication and codependency and different types of relationships, what I came across is the knowledge that rearing a child is about setting up the right stage for that child to grow up healthy. And that means you have to be healthy in your mind to set up that stage for the child you want to rear. So it's a big responsibility, and I don't want to rear a child knowing I could pass on some things that I don't want that child to bring, So I want to be secure with myself first. I want to be healthy with myself and know within myself that I could go on life on my own. Because, when you have a child, that child's gonna go on their life without you, and if you weren't able to teach them how to protect themselves and how to deal with people, different types of people, these statistics, it's all I can say is you need to be ready, really be ready within yourself. Not because you're in a hurry, your time is ticking, all these societal pressures from society, age, that really doesn't matter, because that in itself is insecurity. I get it, us women have clocks, we have time limits to give birth, but don't force it. It's okay, it might be something that you want to have, but it's a whole consciousness that you're bringing into the world, and you don't want to mess that up just because you were in a hurry. You can't think like that. You have to think rationally. Okay, I know we're women and we're born to create, we're born to give birth. We have that organs and all that, the functionality, the body to give birth, to rear children and all that. But when we talk about facts, we talk about reality, we talk about rationality, we have to do it right. We can't just force things. We can't be always in a hurry. It's not gonna help the world. If you bring up a child and give your insecurities to them, who knows, somebody else will kind of give that child more insecurities. The world will make that kid damaged or something like that. It's only gonna unbalance the world. It's something to really think about involving other factors other than your time is ticking, and your age, you're growing old, whatever, or like, oh, I don't want my kid to be at this age when I'm at this age, you know. It's something to really think about without your insecurities. You have to know you have to have the proper reasons to have a child, okay? And you know, you can adopt. There's a lot of kids there who wants parents, you know. You can do that as well. That's very that's really rewarding as well, you know. Next, we should get married for the right reasons. This is really important as well. Sometimes we come across people in our lives that are only seasonal. They're not supposed to be there all our lives. Then, you know, we fall in love, and then we get married with these seasonal people, and then we end up not being happy. It's really important to have that happiness. That is what makes our relationship strong. Because if you're going to bind yourself with someone that's potentially not going to make you happy for the rest of your life, then what's the point? This thing, you have to think really hard as well. I mean, you know I love him or her, and then I'm going to do anything for him or her. It's she, they, whatever you want to call yourself, them. But it's don't force it. Like, make sure you're friends with the person first, instead of diving deep down in it in a hurry, without just going with your emotions, without even thinking about, you know, I know it's love. Love is a very complicated thing. It can make us do crazy things. But that's when mindfulness comes in. Mindfulness is so important. Once we stop and think about our actions and our intentions, it's less likely that we do mistakes, we make mistakes. Don't be in a hurry. It's not a race. So what if society's saying you're this old and when are you gonna have kids, or when are you gonna get married and stuff? Like, it's not like, you know, it's not a meal. We're like, oh, I'm gonna have a meal at this time. It's a life decision that should have life intentions, if you get what I mean. It's you have to know what you want from that relationship as well. This is a wide topic to be discussed, so I'm just going to talk about that in the next video. I'll come back to this, but yeah. Right. Next. Because growth needs change, and change means letting go, it can be very difficult for people. That's why many choose not to put in the work. But you have to go through the pain of change to grow without issues and baggages. You should learn to deal with them as soon as possible, because these things bite us back on the ass later. Yes. That's well explained, right? Or should I go deeper into that? Okay, maybe a little bit. I know it's painful to sit with your emotions. I know it's painful to think about those things, and you want to have distractions. You want to have these, like, when you don't want to think about it, you just want to leave it behind or push it down deep down. But doing that brings in our ego, our pride, our these things are in another term called defense mechanisms, or something that really results into defense mechanisms. And it's hard to undo that. It's hard to let that go. It's hard to unlearn once you've built, like once you've stuck that defense mechanism in your foundation. It's so hard to do that, because eventually that might help you in some times, in a couple of years after that trauma, but eventually those things will not serve you anymore. So there's gonna be times that you will be tested and forced to let that go, and letting it go is very painful. So you have to start working as soon as possible. Don't try to escape it. Don't try to deny it. Sit with it. Find tools that you can use to heal it, to fix it. You know, it's harder said. I mean, it's easier said than done, but there are tools, there are ways, and you can work with it. Like, there's a lot of books online, there's a couple of websites or people online that offer free therapy. There's a lot of YouTube videos. There's a lot of ways that you can deal with these things and let them go, so you don't have to bring them on to your next relationships, or to your next situations or experiences. So you have to put in the work. You have to try, because if you don't, you know, it's gonna mess you up later. Seriously, trust me. It has me. It has kind of messed me up in a way before. So okay, I'll just give you kind of examples of, or maybe what I did, right? So I went through trauma. I don't want to talk about it because that's my personal trauma, but I'm going to tell you what I did during, and after. So during that time, I was trying to understand the situation. I did a lot of introspection. I talked it out with the people involved. Never really got anything from them, but it helped me kind of release some bits of it. And then so what I did was I talked to my friends as well. Well, I really didn't know how to open up then, so I did a lot of it. Introspection from the start. So after a couple months doing a lot of introspection on my own, kind of trapped. Maybe not after. During those times as well, I tried to kind of get myself out. Tried to do things while sitting with those emotions. And then after that, I just felt like I needed to share my burdens already, because it was too heavy to carry. So I talked to my friends, and they've given me a couple of suggestions. They've never really been to what experience I was going through at that time, so they can't really give me the right advices and suggestions and that. But some of them really helped me. Like, my friend suggested therapy. The therapy really helped. So I was doing that once a week. Therapy is really magic. I suggest everyone, even healthy people, do it. Keeps you on track, helps you monitor yourself, and so I did that, and so I was grieving at that time, and there's these 5 stages of grief. I didn't force it. I just let it happen, because you can't really force grief. But I did the work. I tried to do the work. I tried to give it all out as much as I can without forcing it, just letting it happen naturally, but within myself, knowing that I am doing the work. I'm not trying to escape it. At the same time, not trying to do any bad things, like taking revenge. Because taking revenge doesn't give you peace of mind later on. It really helps to keep your mind on doing what is right and doing good. Peace of mind is so important. So I did that. What is the 5 stages of grief? Denial. I was in denial first, of course. Everybody is in denial and the first stages of grief. I was in denial. And then this was funny. It's not like in the consecutive stages. You don't really follow them. It's not that straight. It's going to be first stage, you go to the 5th stage, you go to the 2nd stage, you go to the 5th stage, 1st stage again. It's a whole circle. It's all like, it's not linear. Healing isn't linear. But I let those things happen. I didn't want to deny myself the opportunity to heal from it the right way, because I was sick of feeling like crap. I was sick of being in a place all of these years having the same results over and over. I was sick. So I wanted to go. I wanted to go as far as I can, to do as much as I needed to get to a place where I want to be, which is where I am now. There's one time where I was analyzing if I went to the 5 stages of grief, and I was thinking, crap. No, before that, one day I woke up and I was just so mad. I was so mad about what happened, and the people involved as well. So I just grabbed my trainers, I went to the park, I ran, and 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 I was so angry. Like, I just ran, and next thing I knew, it was 12 kilometers of running. That's a lot. I think that's the farthest I've ever gone in my life. Maybe not, I don't know, but yeah. And then I came home and I was like, thank God. I analyzed, if I went to the 5 stages of grief, and then I thought, I never really went into anger, because I didn't let myself get angry. I wanted to understand the people involved. I wanted to understand the situation, and I didn't want to blame them. But then, thinking they were just as much to blame as I was. No, actually, this is the peace of mind. I did well. I gave it my all. Right, so I didn't blame myself. I blamed myself at first. But then after that anger, I stopped blaming myself. And then that's when I felt the healing start to happen. I knew I was, that time I was already healing, but I didn't feel it. That was that time when I was doing the introspection after running, that I felt that I was starting to heal, because I was starting to let go of the things that I needed to let go. And it was just so freeing. But of course I was still grieving. And then I learned to talk to people, to my friends, to my family about the whole situation, and just started healing. Although in that time I was trying to heal myself, the situation just kept getting worse and worse. But I got out. I was forced to be out of the situation. and I got myself out of it. And then it just went on straight. It went linear, and I'm so happy with myself doing that. It wasn't easy at all. Being a good person is so freaking hard, but I did. I was a good person. I did all the things that I needed to do, I think. And now it's 25 minutes. I'm sorry this is taking too long. But yeah, you get what I mean about this. Take what you need from all these. Maybe I should just dig deep into all of the learnings here, so I don't have to go back and forth with each video. But yes, I'll stop here because this is getting too long, and I hope you get things from this as well, because these things that I'm telling you are really important to me, and I hope they would help you. They would become your tools to making your life better, so you don't have to experience what I experienced in life. Yeah, so I hope you guys like this. You know what to do. Comment, suggest, whatever. Let me know about whatever you want me to know or don't want me to do. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Thanks for listening. Bye. Have a nice day.